wherever you're from. Welcome once again. For those who've been meeting online and sending emails, we're happy to have you all here. With me on this call today, we have Engineer Carol Ofafa. We have Nutifafa, who are part of the ASR team, and we are here to just give you information, everything regarding the AWER-LP program, what to expect, what the course would look like, both the online and in person, listen to your Q&A, and just get your feedback and also hear from us as well on what to expect. So I'll hand over to Carol, who will start the session. And if you have any questions, please use the Q&A function, or you could just send it in the chat. We'll respond to you during the webinar.
Thank you very much, Zita, and welcome everybody. I will just share my screen and we can begin shortly. Okay. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Zita, is it correctly shared?
No. Sorry, Carol.
This is not.
No.
Is it correctly shared now?
Yes, it is. Perfect.
Okay, perfect. Right. So welcome to the African Women in Energy Regulation Leadership Program info session. And Zita, who has just spoken, is our course coordinator for this course. As we are still within the application phase, we thought it would be very important to have this session. We have received so many questions from the applicants, and we wanted to give you a chance to ask them directly, and also just to give more clarification on the program as you're finalizing your application. So the African Women in Energy Regulation is a leadership program for women in regulation and women in energy. It is designed to empower women to be able to lead and innovate and drive positive change within the regulatory sector on the continent. We aim to advance inclusivity in regulation, in energy regulation, to build strong regulatory skills, as well as communication and leadership skills, so that more women can join the sector. You're aware that if you go up the chain on most regulatory bodies or energy institutions or those working in capacity building, or generally in the energy sector, even in utilities, you find it fewer and fewer women at the top, right? So we are trying to change that. We're trying to empower women to be able to take up those positions, to have the technical skills, the leadership skills that can drive them to the very top to be able to effect change. We also want to foster a network of women leaders and mentors. So mentorship will be a core part of this program. We'd like to equip our participants with real-world regulatory challenges or technical challenges in regulation, and to see what are the best policies or solutions towards these challenges to support sustainable and equitable energy development in Africa as well. So the course director is Professor Ignacio Perez Arriaga. He's a senior external advisor at the African School of Regulation, where the course will be led by myself. My background is in electrical engineering, and I'm a research associate at the African School of Regulation. I'm also an entrepreneur in the energy sector, so I have a deep understanding of the challenges that regulation has in the sector, as well as women in leadership. So it will be a very good program to be able to share my experiences, as well as many other fantastic mentors who will be available during the program. So the course is structured in two phases. It's a hybrid course. 1 week will be done online from wherever you are. So whether you're in your country, at work, you'll be able to have a 1 week in person, a 1 week online, which will be interactive with the foundational concepts on leadership as well as on regulation. You will have a self-paced instructor-led activities. So there'll be durations left or space left for you to be able to study by yourself, go through the materials on the learning management platform. The entire online week will be hosted on the ASR's learning management platform. And of course, Zoom links will be sent out for the presentation by the instructors. The week 2 will be in person in Accra. Just to note is that there is only a weekend between week 1 and week 2. So by the time we're starting week 1, for those who will be selected, all the logistics preparations for travel to Accra should have been completed by week 1, before week 1 we begin week 1. So there's a lot to be done between now and then, and that's why we're encouraging you to finish your applications, because we'll start reviewing them on a rolling basis. Then the week in Accra will be a hands-on workshop, as well as case studies, both the mentorship part and the technical part. We're going to have a site visit at one of our institutions in Accra, and also provide networking and peer learning opportunities for the participants. Now, the content is quite exciting. I'm very, very excited about this course because it provides an interlink between soft skills that are relevant for regulation, but also technical skills that are relevant to advance your career professionally in regulation. Now, you will find that we have special segments that will cover how to integrate gender into regulatory practices and what the role of gender is in advancing equitable regulation. So there will be soft skills as well to help navigate male-dominated sectors, which we know the energy sector is one, to negotiate influence and have assertive communication, mentorship, personal branding, and career advancement. So this will be the part of the mentorship module. Then we will have technical skills to understand the current state of the power sector in Africa, how markets and monopolies are regulated, tariff design and cost of service, electricity access, and off-grid solutions. But there's also a very interesting topic that we will cover, which is the utility of the future, right? So where are we going in terms of our utilities, in terms of our power sector? So that is going to be a very exciting module covered by our course director, Professor Ignacio, and I'm very excited for those who will be selected to enjoy that part of the course. Then we will use different styles of learning. There'll be case studies. We will have workshops and peer group mentorship as well. And then we're going to have mentors sitting in some of the group mentorships. Then we have the site visits. We have peer-to-peer learning, access to industry leaders in partnership with our sister school, Florence School of Regulation. We have a very exciting surprise within the course from our partner school. So we are really trying to make sure that it has an international aspect to it as well, and to build a network beyond the continent to learn from other women in the regulatory and energy space across the world. Instructors will be from key energy institutions. Like I said, there's a global feel to it, but of course we are focusing on the African continent and the challenges on the African continent. The lessons and modules will be updated on the Brightspace learning management platform. So you have access to reading materials, you have access to recordings, you have access to quizzes where you can, test your knowledge, and also to a feedback discussion forum. So you can use the discussion forum to discuss amongst each other. There will be videos, live classes, all these case studies, everything uploaded on the platform. But in the in-person week, we also have some materials that will be handed to you for continued learning. Then we will award some badges, which will come with the certificate for the course. The Nguduzi badge for discovery, Uchunguzi badge, and the study badge for proficiency. So if you are selected to join this cohort, you have to work very hard to make sure you get the study badge, because there is a special gift that normally comes with it at the end that can also help grow your professional career. So I would like to finish there. And I think, Zita, are we open for questions now, or do we invite Notifa, our senior training associate, to say a few words?
Yeah, sure. Notifa, you could say a few words.
Yes, thank you, Carol. I think this is a very interesting program, which is designed to build the capacity of our young women engineers. And it's going to be very impactful because we really need to get our regulations right. I always say that there's no perfect regulation, but there are best practices in regulation. And when we intend to interconnect the whole of Africa, then we need to adopt the best regulatory practices so that we'll be able to harmonize our grid codes and standards to be able to interconnect our region very well. So this course lays the foundation for that. And I encourage every participant to take it very seriously so that together we can build a very strong and robust infrastructure to deliver affordable energy to the many teeming to supply the demands we have in on the continent. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Engineer. This is, a big step in regulation. I think it's one of its kind, combining technical regulatory practices, the utility of the future, as well as, the gender aspect that it's quite fundamental for growth in the sector. So it's a very special program. So I'll hand over back to Zita for the Q&A session.
Thanks, Carol. Thanks, Nitifafa. The chat box is going live and I'm loving it. I'm loving how everyone is introducing themselves. I'm seeing some past alumni, some alumni of the ASR, which is lovely to see. Okay, we have a few questions here, but please use the Q&A function or you can send your messages in the chat box. So Carol, are you ready for the questions?
Yes,
So
let's
someone,
go for it.
okay, let's go for it. Someone says, "Hi, Carol. I'm based in South Africa. Is the program specifically tailored for the professionals? I'm an entrepreneur in the energy space and would love to, I would like to learn a lot. Regards, Mapula."
Right. Thank you very much for your question. We have highlighted in the application documents our target institutions. What we're trying to achieve is to see the largest amount of impact with the knowledge of regulation, but also soft skills in both the public and private sector. So I think you fall within that and utilize the application form to sell yourself the best because it's a competitive process. So make sure you show how you will utilize the knowledge from the training to make the largest impact, right? So what we want is to utilize what the knowledge you get, the skills you get, the networks you get, and use it as much and as far and as wide as possible to grow your career, but also to support your community and also the institutions in which we work or the companies in which we work. So you're welcome to apply. Please go for it.
Yeah, thanks, Carol. So we have another question here saying, okay, I'm an environmentalist in coal mining. Should I apply? Did you get
Yes,
that?
I think yes, environmentalists in coal mining. I think you are well within your right to make your application. All I say is make it as strong as possible because it's a competitive process, right? We have two cohorts that will run, but this time this is the November cohort. We will pick a few participants to join, and then the second cohort, another number of participants to join. So please give your best, put your best foot forward. Like I said, for us in the review process, it's to see how you will utilize this knowledge, to see what you will do after the program, what you're bringing to the program to be able to give the best and the most impact. So make sure that while you're writing your application, do not worry about your background, but where you're going and where this information will take you. That is the most important thing we want to see.
Yeah, perfect. And I think you've even answered a few other questions just based on the answer you gave. So someone said, I'm currently completing my final year of studies at the University of Khartoum, and my official degree certificate has not yet been issued. Could you please confirm if I can submit my secondary school certificate in application?
Right. So just to respond to that, the level of awareness of the energy sector that will be fundamental for you to benefit the most from this would be a degree, right? So that you are able to understand certain concepts because we're not starting from past principles. There are things about the power sector that should be, probably understood at that level. So I'm sorry, at this time it may not be the best time for you to apply, but you could make your attempt in the second cohort where you already have your certificates, right? So then you're in a better place to get picked for that next cohort.
Yeah, thanks. So another one said, is the program restricted for engineers? And I think you've answered that already, saying as far as it's related to the energy sector, you could be a communications person in the sector, you could be a storyteller in the sector, you could be working as an economist in the sector. So I think that sort of answers that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Another question says, how many participants are needed?
Right. So for the first cohort, we are only selecting 30 participants. And this is because we have a very short but quite intensive program. We are also going to offer additional services during the in-person, and we want to be able to make that manageable. And 30 would be a good number, especially those new moms who will be coming with their babies, because we're offering childcare support for the in-person. So the first cohort will have 30, and the second cohort will have 30. Of course, we will communicate, in the future. We hope that the cohort grows and we have more and more participants joining. But for this first one, it's only 30. Yeah, so it's a very tough, competitive application process. I wouldn't want it to be so. I actually would hope that we all can get this type of training, but of course the restrictions are there, due to finances and logistics, etc. So we only have a minimum number that we can work with. Yeah.
So Zafira asks, after the program ends, is there an alumni community or platform for participants where they can stay engaged and help one another with projects or collaborations?
I think, Zita, you can take that one.
Yes, we are going to have like a really amazing alumni community, especially to link you up, not just with yourselves, the participants, but also with industry leaders who are women. And the idea is to keep this community alive even afterwards, because we're women, we support ourselves. We need to also share ideas, collaborate together, like you rightly said. So that's going to be another exciting part of this program. So I don't know if Carol has anything to add to that.
No, I think that that's the one of the foundational aspects of this program. We don't want to let you go. So once you're in, we want to keep you in. We want to make sure that we are following up with you, that you form part of a wider ASR network. You form part of a wider international network of women working in the energy sector in regulation. And that's why we are partnering with other institutions as well to deliver some of the modules or some of the webinars, etc. So it would be an interesting opportunity to keep going beyond. And this is one of those things I keep hammering on, that show how the project or the program or the training program will affect you beyond, and how you contribute to it. So the alumni network is a really big part of that. You will, of course, get fast access to all the trainings that the ASR is doing, all the trainings that our partner institutions are doing. And don't worry, it's not that if you do not get this fast cohort, that there won't be other opportunities. This is something that is starting now, but we are hoping to keep going, for many more cohorts to come. So don't give up hope if you don't get the first cohort. You will have several opportunities. Just refine your application, refine the way you present yourself, and that will give you, a good chance in future cohorts. We at the ASR, want to advance as much capacity building, as much knowledge into the sector as far and as widely as possible. So the restrictions that limit us are not necessarily, within our control. They're mostly beyond our control. Like I said, finances and logistics. So it's something that if we are able to run several cohorts, then we can be able to reach all of you, because all of us deserve to learn, and all of us deserve to give back what we've learned into our work. Yeah.
Thanks, Carol. So another question here is, I have two questions. Do I need a visa to travel to Accra? I'm in South Africa and I checked online and it says I can use my passport, so do not need a visa. The second one, Carol has answered that, is asking if the person is in the mining sector. So Carol answered that earlier. For the visas, if once you've been selected, we will work around getting visas for those who are required to do so. And I think it's also part of the things in your application form as well. So logistics will be communicated to you.
Yes, it's important to, sorry, Vita, just to add on to the visa question, it's important to also check, once selected, what the requirements of your country are. Always be on top of things, always be aware. So make sure that you check in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs website. But we will also offer that support and that information when the time comes for the 30 participants. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, someone is asking, how many hours do we need in practice to complete the course?
Right. So that's a very good question. The online part of the course will start from 9 a.m. in the morning up to 2 p.m. in the afternoon with some breaks in the middle. And then you will have a self-study session after 2 p.m., which is a 2-hour session. So by 4 p.m., you should be done. It is requiring your commitment. So you will, if you're selected, you'll have to sign a commitment form to commit to those 2 weeks, the online and the in-person, that you will benefit from the training, right? You will be able to be present, you'll be engaged, and you will attend the classes, because it would be very unfair if you're selected and someone who was not selected, didn't get to join, but you are, not taking full advantage of the opportunity. So please come prepared. The online week will start from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m., depending on your time zone. So I'm talking about Ghana time, GMT, where the African school is located, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then you can have 2 hours in the afternoon for your working session, self-study. That is dependent on you. It will be a free session for you to do your self-study. And then, of course, it will run for the 5-day period of the first week. And on the second week, we require you in person in Accra. So you have to make a commitment to travel. You have to make sure that you have your inoculations or vaccinations required ready, your passport is ready, and you have all the documentation that is required to process your travel, and that you're available in Accra on the date that is expected of you. So that commitment to us is very important, because somebody else is going to miss that chance. You have to show that you're ready and you're willing and you're available to carry out to participate in the course fully. Yeah.
Perfect. Someone is asking if it's available for African women living outside the continent. If it's available for them to participate on site. So I'm guessing that's for the in-person.
Right. So we will only offer travel and planning logistics for African women on the continent. This is going to be due to limitation of budget. Like I said, we have a limitation in the numbers because of budget. We have a limitation in travel because of the budget. So it would be only for travel within countries on the continent and not from outside the continent.
Yeah, because okay, just to add to that, another question there related to that is it necessary to come, or can we attend online?
No, the project requires you, the training requires you to attend both the online part of the course as well as the in-person. Without those two, then you will not get the full value of the course, because some of the topics we start, the foundational laying or the foundation laying in the first week online, and then we close and finalize in the in-person. So you'll have missed out, if you only attend one and the other. And like I said, for the 30 who are selected, please, you will have to sign a commitment that you'll be available to attend both the online and the in-person. If you're not available to attend both, please do not take up the spot. Let someone else who's available take up the spot, and then maybe next year for the second cohort or future cohorts, when you're available, you'll be able to get a chance. So do not just take it up if you're not sure that you'll be available, or if you do not, have the right documentation that can allow you to travel, or you do not have the, the time to travel. So please, or the time to engage in the online course, please make sure that these are things you think about so that you can derive the maximum from the program.
Thanks, Carol. Another one is when do we expect to have the results?
Right. I think that the closing of the application is started September. I think 20 days after that, there should be an announcement for those who have been selected. What happens is that there are so many applications, right? So we have already seen the interest. We know that there's a lot of interest on this project. So we're not able to contact everybody who didn't succeed, but those who will have succeeded will get feedback, and then there'll be an announcement that the 30 have been selected. So if you did not get the email telling you that you've been selected, by the time we announce the 30 who have been selected, that will be your way to know. But it doesn't mean you give up hope. Like I keep saying, this is the first cohort. There will be many other opportunities. The first, I don't know if some of you have, if you understand this saying, we have it in my culture that, the first spot is always, there's always room for improvement. So even if you don't get the first cohort, the second, the third, the fourth will have a lot more improvement. So don't lose hope. Just keep being part of the network, keep communicating, watch out for future collaborations and future announcements and apply. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. So someone asked here, so I've gotten some questions regarding the second cohort. Someone was asking if they'll need to reapply if they don't get selected. Another one is asking if they're going to go through the same application process again, or is there a separate process for that?
Yes, so there will be need to, so the first question, which is actually a very important one. Once you apply, we're going to keep your information. There's going to be a waiting list. So there will be probably 10 additional participants who will be on a waiting list. In case one of the first 30 are not able to travel for one reason or another, then the first person on the waiting list will be contacted, right? So the framework for selection will be established based on, how the applicant answered the questions, the years of experience, et cetera, et cetera. So once we establish the 30 and there's a challenge for one of the 30 to attend the training, then you have a chance to be contacted at least in due time, so in good time, so that you can make travel arrangements and preparation. The rest of those who have applied, especially the applications that stand out, there will be a form sent to you for the second cohort so that you just fill your interest. Because you may apply in the first cohort, but you may not necessarily be interested, or you may have moved on, or you have something else going for you, or you've left the continent, or so in the second cohort there will be a form sent out to those who applied in the first, who were very good but couldn't get the first 30 slots. So that special form will be separate from the application form. So you don't necessarily have to apply in the second cohort, but more information about this will be shared in due course for the second cohort. If there are any changes to this, what we've discussed here today, this will also be communicated in advance. Like I said, this is the first of its kind on the continent, this type of training where, we are offering support beyond just logistics. We have, childcare, we have mentorship, we have a big network that our participants will tap into. So we are going to learn a lot more lessons. And of course, by the second cohort, a lot more information will be provided on whether you should apply if you were, probably part of the very top who didn't get the slot in the 30, or if you will just receive a form to show your interest, and then you can be considered for the second cohort.
Thanks. I'm just checking the chat box and I'm seeing we have so many questions. So I'm trying to also respond by text. Someone is asking if if it's a certification program, and at the end of the program, will participants receive certificates? Yeah.
Yes. Zita, you want to answer that one? Yeah.
Yeah, we had put that as well in the announcement. You will receive certificates for this. About it being a certification program, I don't think I understand exactly what you mean by the certification program, but you will get certificates at the end. You'll get certificates of participation at the end of the in-person course. So I think that's answered. And they said, what weeks are we targeting in November? So we had put that as well. So that's the 14th to the 28th of November for the first cohort. Someone is also asking the minimum requirements. So that was also stated, but what we'll do again is after this call, you will get an email again with basic information like the link to join, the basic requirements and everything. So you can also see that. And that's for Faith. Someone is asking, please, are the slots going to be shared across different parts of Africa? I think we will need a yellow card to show vaccine taken. Yes, if you're coming into Ghana, you will need a yellow vaccine card. Carol, do you want to answer the other question about the slots being shared across different parts of Africa?
Yes, of course, there is a lot of benefit in diversity, right? So there has to be representation, which really matters. We also want the quality of the course to be, amazing. And quality can only be obtained, with a lot of experience, a lot of engagement, a lot of drive to want to share your experiences, etc. So we want to target all countries in one way or another, those that we can be able to support as much as the diversity from the application represents. There will be that consideration as part of our framework. But I also want to encourage participants, showing interest is one thing, but actually going down and actually doing the work is another. So please take your time to read that call for application in detail, because I think that some of the questions here are covered there. You'll find the criteria of selection, you'll find, who can apply, you'll find what the details of the course are, the dates that, the course is expected to run. All this information is available there. So we will try and utilize the time during this webinar to answer the questions that may not necessarily be there. So I think some of them have been answered and we will continue answering those, but please take your time. Read very carefully, understand what is written in that application form. It will give you so many answers. It will give you clarity about, timeline, dates, etc. But yes, of course, we are here to answer anything else that may be missing from that application document. Yes.
All right, thanks, Carol. So I just a very interesting question. Someone asked if they're not selected, would they have access to the training materials?
No, you will not have access to the training materials. We will have to join a cohort to be able to have access to the training materials. So the training material is not open source. As you know, the school previously has other trainings. So we have, if you go to the African School of Regulation website, you'll find so many of our trainings not open source. But we do have a knowledge base that is will soon be launched that is open source. So a lot of materials that will be provided in the African School of Regulation knowledge base will be available to all, but the trainings are not left open to everybody. So you must be part of the cohort to benefit from it. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Someone is asking if the scholarship covers all costs, so training materials, travel if required, are there partial expenses they should budget for?
Yeah, so the travel will be covered, of course, the accommodation. It's a fully funded. I think that's the announcement that was made. It's a fully funded program. So any other costs that are involved, unless they are unforeseen by the school, and this will be covered closer to the date once we have selected the 30. Any special circumstances can be handled case by case, but the course is fully funded.
Okay, so I've gotten this question twice. Someone is asking if they can resubmit the application because now they feel like they want to update or refine their motivation letter, given how competitive the program is.
Zita, I don't know if you can answer that one now that you're
Yeah.
leading the, yeah.
Okay, so if you apply, you can actually edit your application. Because you can be put that open where you could actually edit your application and update documents because someone, in this case, actually forgot to upload the document and was able to go back to edit it. So that's something you could do. As far as canceling the application to update it, at this point, we can't do that because we can't do that for everybody. So if you can edit yours, then that would be good. That would be helpful and it's possible to do that. So yes, let me see. There's so many questions. Someone is asking, I understand thank you for the opportunity. As a Nigerian participant, I understand the in-person phase will be held in Accra. Since Nigeria is part of the ECOWAS, we don't require visa. Can you confirm if Nigerian participants will make any additional travel preparations? Again, like Carol had mentioned earlier, check the foreign affairs website of your country and know the requirements. Again, if you're selected, you'll be informed about what is required from you. Like for instance, a yellow fever card will be needed from you if you're coming into Ghana. But if you're selected, an information will be sent to you to know what to prepare in terms of coming into Ghana. Let me see. Would all cohorts in Ghana or other countries? Carol has answered that already. It's open to everyone in Africa as well. I got a very nice message here, Carol. I think I'll read out from someone here. This is a wonderful initiative, and I hope you have a good number of women from government regulatory utilities in future cohorts. Kudos to you and the team as well. Someone asked a question here. I'm a journalist and researcher in environmental mediation. Is it possible to integrate storytelling into the workshops? Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that, yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, good. Yeah, I think that's a very unique perspective, and that's exactly what we are, we would be enjoying. The kind of diversity we'd be enjoying, the cohort would enjoy on the program. Yes, we have the leadership section tailored into different aspects, as we had previously discussed. Negotiation and influence, storytelling is one of them. We're going to teach even participants how to pitch themselves, right? And that's part of storytelling. How do you sell yourself? How do you tell your story? How do you tell the story when you're fundraising, for example? If you are in a position where you can bring in money for your utility, or bring in money for your private company that's working in their sector, it's an important skill to have. So storytelling is going to be one of the sessions covered in the in a pitching session, for example. So these are some of the things that the uniqueness that the project will bring.
Okay, thanks, Carol. Someone asked if it's only your resume, CV, and cover letters that you should attach. So in the application form, there are parts where you can upload. So there's the resume, which is 3 pages. There are a maximum of 3 pages. You have your cover letter. You also have your certificates as well. So they are all clearly defined in the application form. Again, we will resend it again in an email once this webinar is done. Since you've registered, you'll get the emails as well. So please just take a look and just be mindful when you're going through the application process.
I want to maybe say something. Yeah. So, please do not send your CV and your application letter via mail. Please do not make that mistake. It will be missed. It will not be received as one of the applications. Make sure you follow the instructions on the application form on how to apply. Don't send it via mail. I won't be able to read it. Zita will not be able to read it. We receive so many emails from different courses, right? So the ASR delivers different courses. So it might be missed, right? So don't send it that way. Follow the instructions. It will give you a better chance of getting selected if you follow the instructions just as they've been laid out.
Okay, thanks, Carol. And in addition to that, once you submit, because I'm seeing another question regarding that, once you submit your application, you would get either an email, like someone has confirmed that a spam email was sent, and also you would get a notification on your screen saying it has been submitted. And that's when you know it's been submitted. And once on the 30th, once it's closed, you'll also get an email notification letting you know, and you'll get one again a few days before. So those who have submitted will also get that email a few days before. So just be mindful when you're filling out the form. You'll see it at the end, the notification. And also check your spam, check your promotions. If you're using your Gmail, just check it. It might be somewhere in your mailbox as well. Let me see if we have more questions. I think most questions are either the same. Someone said she had sent a question but in the Q&A, but I can't see it. So let me just...
I think while you're looking for it, like I said, I just want to iterate. Please read the application form clearly. Please make sure that you'll be available to travel and also to attend the online part of the course from your home country. You have access to good Wi-Fi, good internet during the first week so that you can sit through the classes, participate. Also, please make sure that you're willing to participate because we want a very engaging cohort. You're going to have peer-to-peer learning as well. So we're learning from each other. You have to be willing to share, and learn from other experiences and share from other experiences. So if you know that that's the type of attitude you have to learning, those are the type of environments where you learn the best, please make sure that you apply. We want it to be an engaging program, where we not only learn from instructors, standing in front of us with PowerPoint, but also from each other. So, make sure you apply knowing very well that you're committing to the program. You will be able to attend the online part and you'll be able to also attend the in-person.
Yes, thanks, Carol. I think I've answered the person. The person resent the question. I'm so sorry, I can't pronounce your name. It's Osarodion. I hope I got it right. Yes, you'll be notified if we're reaching out to your references, but that's only if you've been shortlisted. So if you've been shortlisted, you will be notified. And someone else asked again if successful participants find out if they made it into the cohort. Yes, you will be informed, and if you didn't make it, you'll be informed. If there's a way to be a part of it, you would also be informed. So do not worry about that. And thanks so much for also helping us answer in the comments.
Yeah, I think that's, I wish I could pronounce your name properly. Kemogetswe, if I'm getting it right, I hope. Thank you for answering for us. Yeah. I think maybe those who are asking the same questions as we had answered before, maybe just joined. We did a PowerPoint presentation before covering the technical as well as the leadership. So I can see some questions in the Q&A as well, asking, what leadership and regulatory skills does AWER-LP emphasize the most? We talked about negotiation and influence, the soft skills that you require to move up the ladder in our different institutions and in the energy sector, mentorship and a network of peers and mentors as well. We have on the technical and regulatory side, we're going to discuss the power sector, the status of the power sector in Africa. We're going to discuss what the regulatory practices of generation, distribution, transmission, demand. We will look at a new approach designed by the school called the Integrated Framework for Electrification. We're going to discuss the approach on how to finance projects, transmission projects. So the ITP model, these are types of ways of including the private sector into financing transmission. We're going to look at integration of renewable energy. What does that look like? We'll look at tariff design. We're going to look at what the regulators do, right? So all these are very interesting technical topics to, give you an insight on what regulation is and what the challenges are in the energy sector. Some very interesting statistics are going to be shared about the status of the energy sector, of regulation in the energy sector. These are things that you should be excited about because they'll provide a lot of insight into the technical aspect of the course. So I think that answers Kalimunda. No, not Kalimunda, or Payemi. So
sorry,
right.
Carol. Someone had said Margaret Watiri said we haven't answered her question. And Margaret, we're so sorry, but there's so many questions. Could you resend it? Because okay, I've seen it. If you're not selected, is there an option for self-sponsorship?
Yes, that's a very good question. I had seen that question. I think we will have to check internally and give back feedback on that. We were, of course, getting support from GET.transform on this. Zita, can you hear me? Okay, all right, perfect. Yes, so we were getting support on GET.transform to offer the scholarships for the project, but we can find out internally if there's an option to self-sponsor and give.
Yeah. Thanks, Carol. Sorry, I think I got cut off for a second. Okay. Let me see if there are more questions. Thank you guys so much for the questions. It's so amazing to see the interest as well. Someone is asking if they have if they have more than 5 years of professional experience, like 7 years, what should they do? Should they still apply or not?
Yes. Okay, right. So the 0 to 5 was a guideline. You can apply with a bit more, experience. That is not, a really big factor that will remove you from the shortlist. No, you just have to show what you have done and where you want to go with the knowledge that you'll get from the training. So that's not a factor that should limit you. Please apply.
Hey. I'm just seeing really nice messages from everyone. I'm going through the questions in case we've missed anyone. But like I had mentioned earlier, and like Carol had said, after this webinar, we will send out the links with all the core information. So the call for applications, again, you're also going to get all the links you need. And for some of the questions we haven't answered or we see after the call, we will send them to you as well. We'll just make sure we inform you on everything. And you still have a couple of days to apply. You have like 6 days till the application deadline. So please apply and yeah, put in your best foot forward. Okay, someone is asking a question about the French speaking what do you say? Yeah, French speaking environment and for the Anglophones. It's primarily in English, but we also have French translations during the for your reading core materials like we had put on the slides here. So during the discussion forum, you can discuss both in English and in French, but it's primarily done in English. Or I don't know if Carol has any other thing, or that's it.
Yes, so the material, the application form reads that the course will be delivered in English, but we'll have a French translation for the core material, the core reading material that will be provided of the learning management platform that can help if you're bilingual, to translate. But I think you have to think about for example, the in-person course. If there's a discussion where you're meeting in groups to do, case study discussion or peer-to-peer mentorship, it might be a problem to get translators for all the groups that will be available. So for the material, yes, you can get that support. Probably it's something that for future cohorts, we will have to look into a bit more detailed, but that is just for you to know that the translation for the material will be available, but not for all the discussion sessions during the in-person.
Okay, thanks. Someone just asked if I wish to know if a CV of more than 3 pages can be used as a factor of elimination. So we stated clearly that a maximum of 3 pages. So don't let it exceed 3 pages, please. Someone said for those of us in Accra, will there be some consideration since we live here and there will be limited travel cost? I don't think I don't think I
what
understand
kind
what
of
that means.
consideration?
I don't understand what considerations you mean because the criteria for application is there and there was no mention of location or anything. It's just you have to be African, based in Africa.
Yeah. Yeah, please just apply. If you are having a challenge, like let's say if you're selected and you're from Accra and you have a challenge traveling to the in-person, the travel cost is covered. You'll have to stay with the cohorts at the location of the training. So all that consideration has to be put into effect that you will have to live and work with your fellow cohort during the week of the in-person. So you'll not be going home and coming back. You have to stay there so that you can participate in the after class activities, after the lesson activities, in the group discussions, and the other social activities that have been organized, so that you immerse yourself in the experience fully. So whether you're in Accra or not, we will all have to be together in one location. Yeah.
Thanks. Are there any pets? So once because the person's allergic, so once we have the shortlist done, we'll also send you we'll have a special form in order to get to cater to allergies in terms of even food as well, and like allergies in terms of pets. So don't worry about that for now. Thank you. So I think at this point, what we will do is, like we said, we'll send our emails after this to answer to everything. Links as well will be reshared, and also guidance on how to edit your application, because I've seen that pop in a few times. So I'll send a link and a guidance on how to do that as well. Chidima, thanks so much. I just saw your message again. I'll send the link again and show you, you can sort of have the guidance on how to do that. Thank you, everyone. I don't know if anyone has, Carol, if you have any other thoughts before we end this session?
Yes, I do have some thoughts. I see that there's excitement, but there's also worry. Based on the tone we're using in our questions, I would like to encourage you that there's nothing to worry about. This is the first cohort. Of course, it's going to be very competitive, but there's so many opportunities that will come. And if we do this right, if we able to, work very well, there could be a chance to even grow the cohort from 30 to bigger numbers. But yes, we have this cohort in November and another one possibly in March. And then going beyond that, there'll be many opportunities for us to work together. There are also other ASR courses that you can participate in. And I think that, the goal is to increase access to the 600 million Africans who do not have electricity, and how can we utilize, women in leadership, women in regulation, women in energy to be able to advance that as well. So do not be worried that you may not get this one, and just give your best application. You never know, you could be part of the first 30, or you could be in the second cohort, or you could be in the third, the fourth. There are several opportunities that will come. Please stay in the network, follow African School of Regulation on all our social media platforms so that you can get, forthcoming information about any other opportunities that may come. We want to encourage more and more women, take advantage. Do not, give up hope and say, oh, maybe this does not suit me. And don't second guess yourself. And when you come to the course, we're going to teach you how to not do that even more. Do not second guess yourself. Apply. Put your best foot forward. Give yourself a chance to get selected for this. But other than that, I'm very excited for the course and for what we are going to achieve with this program. It's a very close one to my heart, so I want it to go well. And I wish you all the very best as you make your applications. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Latifafa, do you have any other thing to add?
Yes, Zita. I just want to thank the participants for making time to be on this call. And also thank you, Zita and Carol, for having answers to almost all our concerns. I've really enjoyed this interactive section, and I really look forward to a more insightful engagement during the online and the in-person course. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Latifafa. Thank you, Carol. And like Carol has said, please don't be worried, don't be concerned. I'm seeing lots of messages about editing applications. It's okay, don't worry about that. Everything's going to be okay. Just put your best foot forward. And again, if you do not make the first cohort, don't feel bad. There's a second one, and hopefully we'll have more in the future. So please, again, we will send you the links to all our mailing lists, to our newsletter, and all our socials. So we look forward to talking to you and seeing some of you soon. Thank you and good luck. Have a good day.